Hey everyone, let's talk about the Black Tides of Heaven. This is a fantasy setting set in an Asian world with magic. Let's go into more detail. So the magic is slack, and slack is a form of nature energy and how to use it to adapt the world around it and control it, and you can also fight with that. And we have mainly a ruling power by the protectorate. It's a woman and she's very brutal, and apparently there are a lot of killings and people disappearing. So she likes to get what she wants. There is a mention in the first chapter that there were riots in the past and that the monastery, the head abbot, helped the protectorate, and the protectorate promised them one of their children. The idea was to get one of the existing ones because they didn't want to be with the protectorate anymore, but the protectorate found a way around it and just got new twins. So the story mainly is about those two twins. We have Mokoya and Akia, and they are given to the head monastery to grow up there. But then things happen. I don't really want to go into too much detail of the story because I think it's spoilery, but let's talk a little bit more about the world and other things and how those stories are told. So one big aspect of this story or of this world is how gender is assigned to people. When they are born, they are genderless. So people are always talking of themselves as they, and they have no gender identity, either male or female, until they decide what they are. And this is called a confirmation. This can happen very early on in life or just later in the teens or probably even later, but all the people that we meet and hear about, they got their confirmation latest in their late teens. So this is an interesting aspect of the story, that our two main characters are, for the most part of the story, addressed as they, even when they are singularly addressed. And sometimes that confused me because I didn't know if they were together or if it was just one of them. But that was just me probably paying not enough attention, and it changes also, I think, in which language you read it, because I don't know how they deal with this in other languages. One thing that had me confused with the gender assignation was not that the people could choose and how that was done. I thought that was an interesting idea, but it's not really discussed in detail what happens after the confirmation and how they are genderless before and how they change and become their confirmed gender afterwards. But what I found confusing is that our two twins, even before they assigned or chose their gender, I kind of had the feeling that they were that what they became later. I don't know how that was through the writing or how that happened, and I would like to know if anyone else had that impression. Talking more about the story or the writing was rather well done, but what I didn't like about the storytelling was that a lot of things were left open. We go from different years looking at the twins where they are at different ages and at different stages of what happens in their life. And there's a lot of things happening, a lot of things in the world and between the protectorate and the monastery and also with the children, and yeah, it was interesting. You really got sucked into the characters, but it was always superficial. You really didn't get into depth with anything. The explanation of how the slack works or what the slack is was mentioned on the side. The same with the gender assignation or how the society is built. I don't really know how the society is built. We get a few snippets of different places and names just thrown in there, but I couldn't really place them. And this is said to be a standalone novel, which has some companion novels in the same setting, but I don't know if it's the same characters, if it will explain things more. This is the first novel with this world, and a lot of things had me confused, wanting more, but also not interested in more. So I'm not sure where I stand with this novel. I liked it. I thought it was interesting. It was clever ideas. It was really well executed in some parts, but lacking in others. So I would like to know if you have read the novel. Did you like it? Did you read the companion novels? Do they explain more about the magic and the world and things around that? Or is it just other main characters following their story? Let's talk in comments about the Black Tides of Heaven. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.